All right, buckle up, everybody.
Yeah.
Because today,
Yeah.
we are diving headfirst into the World of Warcraft forums. Specifically, all the juicy details about these upcoming Marksmanship Hunter changes.
They are spicy.
Oh, they are. We've got forum threads bursting at the seams, preliminary patch notes to dissect. So if you're a Marksmanship Hunter main, you definitely want to stick around for this one.
Dig changes are afoot.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the passion in these forum posts, it's palpable.
It really is.
Some folks are over the moon, some are utterly bewildered.
I saw a few folks saying they're just going to re-roll, like, immediately.
Oh, yeah. I saw those too. Like, hold on a second.
Give it a minute.
Let's let the dust settle. But yeah, class identity is a big deal in Wellview.
Huge.
And for Marksmanship Hunters, well, one of the biggest changes is saying goodbye to their traditional pets.
Yeah, that's the big one. No more animal companions.
It's a huge shift. I mean, pets have been synonymous with hunters forever.
Right, like from the very beginning.
Exactly. So to just poof, take them away, it's understandable that people are freaking out a little bit.
I think the devs are trying to streamline the marksmanship playstyle. You know, make it really distinct from beast mastery.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I mean, reading through the patch notes, it does seem like they're pushing marksmanship more towards that lone wolf sniper fantasy.
Give it its own unique flavor.
Right. And some players are loving it. I saw Paka Paka Agrimore on the forums
Paka Paka.
saying, finally, a happy Marks Hunter.
Yeah.
But then, on the flip side, you've got...
the flip side is always entertaining.
Oh, yeah, there's always another side. Azuki Dalaran, for example, is like, no way, they can't just take pets away from marksmanship entirely.
Yeah, I get that. It's a big adjustment.
It is. And it's not just about, like, losing your furry friend. It impacts your whole playstyle, your rotation, everything.
Absolutely, it changes the whole dynamic.
And then you throw this new eagle companion into the mix, and things get even more... complicated.
The eagle is a whole other can of worms.
It is. We know what's going to be unique to marksmanship hunters. But that's about it. Is it always there?
Right, like, is it a permanent fixture?
Can you summon it? Dismiss it?
Does it have, like, special abilities? We need more information.
We too? The community is buzzing with theories.
Oh, the speculation is rampant.
It is. Galdrin Area 52, I don't know if you saw this one.
Oh, I think I saw that one, yeah.
Called it the Eagle Scout Hunter, like Quinn from League of Legends.
Oh, yeah. With Valor, her bird.
Yeah. They work as a team, scouting, setting up plays. Could be a cool direction.
Yeah, I could see that synergy between Quinn and Valor. It's really powerful.
It is. And of course, players are already clamoring for customization options.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want to personalize their feathery friend?
Right. Luxurious Sentinels, they mained a Mechagnome Hunter.
Oh, right.
They were like, give me robots, not animals.
Oh, yeah, Mechagnomes and robots, that's a classic combo.
It is. And then Rankin Chandra's had this cool idea. Race-specific glyphs for the eagle.
Oh, that would be awesome. Imagine a troll hunter with, like, a raptor instead of the eagle.
Right, or an undead hunter with the skeletal bird.
Oh, that would be so cool. So much personality.
It would. But with all these changes, I think the big question that a lot of players are grappling with, and Fliffibus Dalaran put it really well on the forums, is marksmanship about pets or being a lone wolf?
It's a valid question. They've gone back and forth over the years.
Yeah, it started out very pet-focused.
Right, like your pet was essential.
But then later versions leaned more into that, like, lone sniper vibe.
Yeah, more independent. This change definitely feels like a big push toward the lone wolf style.
It does. And speaking of lone wolves, we got to talk about the lone wolf talent.
Oh yeah, the OG lone wolf option.
Already a fan favorite for a lot of marksmanship hunters.
Titch the pet, pump up your damage.
Exactly. Quivermythus Rexar, they made a great point on the forums, saying that skilled marksmanship players are already using Lone Wolf most of the time anyway.
Oh, absolutely. It's like you only call in the pet for those clutch moments.
Yeah, like when you need that extra oof or you're about to get totally wrecked.
Right, like, oh crap, I need my tank buddy.
Exactly. So maybe removing traditional pets is just acknowledging how a lot of marksmanship players already approach the spec.
Yeah, like the devs are saying, we see you, we get it.
Exactly. But how will this impact players who are newer to the specialization?
Right. Will it be easier to learn? Or will it create a whole new set of challenges?
Good question. All right, we have to go back to the forums for a second.
Oh, always back to the forums. There's so much gold in there.
There is. Okay, so Ricatoni Area 52, You know, the one who always needs context for everything.
Oh, yeah, rigatoni. Love that guy.
They chimed in, saying, can't have pasta without sauce. Classic.
So true.
And then you've got Oniana Lightning's Blade, celebrating the freedom from pet mechanics.
No more being held back by the pet AI.
Right. It's all about you, the hunter, taking charge.
Yeah, it's definitely liberating for some players.
It is. But not everyone's convinced. New Urson, for example, is really hoping the eagle will be optional.
Oh yeah, not everyone's on board with the feathery friend.
Right. They're like, give me the lone wolf, but hold the bird.
I mean, choice is always a good thing, right? Forcing everyone into a specific playstyle can be frustrating.
Absolutely.
So for all you marksmanship hunters out there listening,
Yeah.
what does all of this mean for you?
That is the million-dollar question.
It is. But don't panic. Change can be scary, but it can also be really exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. This rework has the potential to shake things up in a big way.
And who knows, maybe it'll make marksmanship even more fun to play.
We'll have to wait and see.
We will. But for now, think about all these different perspectives we've talked about. What resonates with you? What are you excited about?
What are you worried about?
It's important to form your own opinion.
Right. And remember, this is all still early intel. Things can and probably will change
Oh yeah, for sure.
before the patch goes live.
Game development is full of surprises.
It is. And that's part of what makes it so fun, right? You never know what's coming next.
Exactly. Keeps you on your toes.
All right, so we've only just dipped our toes into this ocean of change.
Barely scratched the surface.
Coming up next, we're going to explore how all of this could affect the overall balance of hunter specializations in World of Warcraft.
Stick around.
Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit here
Yeah.
and think about the bigger picture. How could these marksmanship changes shake up the balance between all the hunter specializations?
Right, because right now you've got Beast Mastery, which is all about
Yeah.
sustained damage, taking on multiple targets at once.
AoE damage, lots of pets,
Right. And then there's Survival.
up close and personal.
Super aggressive.
Yeah, in your face. But marksmanship has always kind of been in this middle ground,
Yeah.
range damage, but not as specialized as the other two.
So where does it fit in now? That's the big question.
It is a big question.
I think with this move towards the lone wolf fantasy and getting rid of pet management, marksmanship could become the top dog for pure single target range damage.
Oh, interesting. So you're thinking like a potential powerhouse in raids?
Oh, absolutely. Raids, boss fights.
Especially those eagle mechanics.
Oh yeah, if those eagle mechanics
You were talking there.
turn out to be like some crazy damage buffs.
Give it that extra punch.
Yeah, it could be really strong.
Okay.
Especially if they like crank up the damage to compensate for not having a pet.
Right. But then that could have
Oh,
ripple effects.
big time.
Right. Making beast mastery
Yeah.
or survival
Potentially.
less appealing for certain situations.
Yeah, exactly. If marksmanship becomes like the king of ranged DPS, it might make the other specs feel less useful.
Right. Especially in like
Especially in high-end content, yeah.
the super hardcore.
Before people are min-maxing everything,
Right.
trying to squeeze out every last drop of performance.
Oh, absolutely. It's like that delicate ecosystem.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
You tweak one thing, it affects the whole food chain.
Perfect analogy. That's why game balance is such a nightmare for developers.
It's got to be.
They're constantly trying to keep things
Yeah.
fair and competitive while also making sure each specialization feels unique and valuable.
Right. And this is all happening.
Oh, and don't forget
Nothing.
the Holy Priest and Resto Druid reworks.
Oh, yeah, those were big.
Huge changes. It's like a class revolution is happening.
It is. Like, how do you even predict
It's impossible.
the long-term effects?
It's a web, right? Everything's interconnected.
Yeah. One change over here
Mm-hmm.
affects something over there,
And then something else over there.
and it just ripples out.
It's fascinating. It
Yeah.
really is. We'll see how the meta evolves.
Oh, yeah. Like, will these changes make people, like, switch mains?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, remember Tiffany Ravencrest from the forums?
Oh, yeah.
She was saying she's going to move her main to Beast Mastery.
If the marksmanship changes happen,
Yeah, it just shows how attached people are to their characters.
it does. Like, your character is more than just,
Mm-hmm.
like, pixels on a screen.
It's an extension of yourself.
Yeah, it's like hours of gameplay, progression.
Your choices, your style.
Yeah, it's personal expression.
Absolutely.
So these changes are more than just, like, numbers and mechanics.
It's about how players connect with the game.
It is. And that connection
is powerful.
Powerful.
It really is. And it's up to each player to decide how they adapt. Some will embrace the new marksmanship.
Yeah.
Others might try different specs or even different games entirely.
And that's the beauty of online gaming, right? There's always something new.
Always evolving. Always a new challenge.
This deep dive is just a glimpse into that evolution.
Yeah.
But we want to bring it back to you, the listener, for a moment. You've heard our take. You've seen what the forums are saying.
Yeah.
Now it's your turn to weigh in.
Imagine you're at the helm, leading the World of Warcraft development team.
Yeah.
What would you do? How would you balance all the hopes and concerns of the players while also pushing the game in new directions?
That's a great question.
It is a big question.
A question that deserves its own deep dive.
Absolutely. But before we get carried away with that, let's talk about one of the most talked about elements of this whole change.
Right.
The lone wolf talent.
Okay, so lone wolf, a lot of you listening are probably already using it. But for those who aren't, or maybe you're just starting out, what does it actually do?
So lone wolf basically lets you trade in the benefits you normally get from your pet for a significant boost to your own damage.
So instead of relying on your pet for like extra attacks or buffs, you become more of a self-sufficient powerhouse.
Exactly. You're going solo, maximizing your own ability.
So it's like high risk, high reward.
Oh, definitely. You lose the tactical advantages of the pet. You lose the survivability a pet can provide. But in return, you become this like formidable damage dealer.
And what's interesting, like we touched on earlier, is that a lot of skilled marksmanship hunters already prefer lone wolf.
Yeah, they're already going that route.
So does that tell us anything about like
I think it does.
How the specialization has been designed up to this point?
I think it suggests that maybe there was some underlying design tension there. Like maybe the pet mechanics felt a little clunky or less rewarding compared to just playing solo.
Right.
So maybe, just maybe, this change is a way for the devs to streamline marksmanship, make it feel more intuitive, less clunky, even for players who aren't like hardcore min-maxers.
Yeah, just make it more accessible?
Yeah, more approachable.
So, potentially a good change overall.
Yeah, it could be. But it also raises the question of how will those who loved the pet aspect adapt?
That's a good question. It brings us back to that whole debate of
lone wolf versus pet master.
Yeah. Which path will Blizzard choose?
It seems like they're leaning heavily towards lone wolf.
It does seem that way.
But then they introduced the eagle.
Yeah, the eagle throws a wrench in things.
It's like they want to have their cake and eat it too.
Right. And speaking of the eagle.
Oh, the eagle.
It's hard not to get swept up in all the speculation.
Oh, the speculation is running wild.
What if this eagle isn't just like a cosmetic change?
What if it's something more?
Like what if it unlocks all these new mechanics and play styles?
What if it gives you unique abilities?
What if it acts as a scout?
Oh,
reveals enemies, tactical information.
What if it evolves alongside your character?
Okay, now my head is spinning.
I know, right? The possibilities are
endless. But let's take a step back here.
Yeah, let's reel it back in.
Look at the historical context. Marksmanship hasn't always been about lone wolves, right?
No, absolutely not. In fact, early versions of marksmanship were heavily reliant on pets.
Right. Like back in the day.
Yeah.
Your pet was like a core part of your character.
Big chunk of your damage, your utility.
So what changed? When did we start shifting towards this?
It's been a gradual evolution, really. With each expansion, Blizzard's experimented with different mechanics, different play styles for marksmanship.
So sometimes pets were front and center.
Yeah.
Sometimes they took a back seat. So this new change
could
be seen as like the culmination of that evolution.
Yeah, like a return to the roots.
Yeah, but with a modern twist.
Right, or maybe it's something totally new.
Yeah.
Like a radical reimagining of what it means to be a marksmanship hunter.
It's exciting.
It is. It's the unknown.
The potential.
That's what makes it so fun.
It's like we're on the cusp of a new era for marksmanship.
We are, but change is a double-edged sword, right?
Always.
It can bring exciting new things, but it can also lead to unforeseen consequences.
Right. Which brings us back to
balance.
Balance?
Yeah.
How will this impact the whole ecosystem of hunter specializations?
Will it be harmony
or
chaos.
only time will tell.
Yeah.
But one thing's for sure.
What's that?
This is going to be one wild ride.
Oh, it is.
And we're going to be here every step of the way to analyze, dissect, explore it all with you.
And before we jump into the potential impact on the other hunter specs,
let's hear what our listeners have to say.
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
Head over to our forums.
Let us know your predictions,
Your concerns.
your hopes for the future of marksmanship hunters.
And stay tuned, because up next, we're diving into the potential ripple effects on beast mastery and survival.
We'll be comparing them to those recent Holy Priest and Resto Druid reworks.
Oh yeah, this deep dive is far from over. Okay, so we spent a lot of time talking about marksmanship hunters.
Oh yeah, we've really gone deep.
But what about the other hunter specs?
Right, how will beast mastery and survival fare in this brave new world? That's the question.
It is. Will they be overshadowed by this potentially, supercharged marksmanship hunter?
Yeah, or will they, hold their own, carve out their own niche?
Right. And we have to think about this, in the context of all these other changes that have been happening, too.
Right, like those Holy Priest and Resto Druid reworks.
Those were
huge changes.
So it's like, how do these all play together?
Right, like will the marksmanship rework have similar ripple effects?
Right, like remember how those Holy Priest changes shifted their focus more towards single target healing? And some players were worried that it would make them
less effective in raids.
Yeah, less effective in situations where they need to heal a lot of people at once. And then Resto Druid's got those buffs to their damage over time spells.
So now they're not just healers, they can actually put out some decent damage too.
So it'll be really interesting to see if the marksmanship rework has similar, knock-on effects.
Right. Could beast mastery become the undisputed king of multi-target damage?
Ooh, even more so than it already is.
Yeah, exactly.
And what about survival? Will they double down on that?
Oh, yeah.
Aggressive, in-your-face play style?
Yeah, to really make them stand out.
Right, because it's all about niches, right?
Yeah, niches are key.
Each spec needs its own strength, its own reason to exist.
Absolutely. The devs have a tough job making sure everything feels
balanced,
fun to play.
But balance isn't just about numbers, right?
No, it's about the feel.
Yeah.
The fantasy of each spec.
Right, like you mentioned earlier that some beast mastery players really love the pet management aspect.
Oh yeah, they love that micromanagement.
So what happens to that if marksmanship becomes the go-to spec for solo play?
Right. Will those beast mastery players feel less unique? Less special.
Right. Or will they feel pressured?
Yeah. Will they feel like they have to
go lone wolf too?
Go lone wolf just to keep up. Those are tough questions.
It's almost like they're trying to walk this tightrope between appealing to different play styles while also maintaining the core identity of each specialization.
That's a delicate balance for sure.
And we know the player base is gonna...
Oh, they'll let their voices be heard.
Oh yeah. The forums will be
blaze with opinions.
But that's part of the fun, right?
It is. It shows that people care.
Yeah.
It shows that they're invested in the game.
And at the end of the day, it's up to each individual player to decide how they adapt, what they enjoy most.
Absolutely. Maybe some beast mastery hunters will embrace a more supportive role.
Interesting.
Yeah, like focusing on buffing their allies, controlling the battlefield.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Could be a whole new way to play.
Right, or maybe we'll see like a surge in hybrid builds.
Oh, hybrid builds are always fun.
Mixing and matching talents.
Yeah, from different specs.
To create something
totally new and unique.
Possibilities are pretty much endless.
That's what makes these changes so exciting.
Yeah.
It shakes things up, Makes you rethink your strategies.
Yeah. Explore new ways to play.
And speaking of exploring, we can't forget about that mysterious eagle companion.
The wild card in all of this.
We still don't know.
We know nothing.
Exactly how it'll work, what its abilities will be.
Is that optional? Who knows?
It could be purely cosmetic.
Yeah, just a visual flair.
Or it could be
something much, much more.
Imagine if the eagle had its own talent tree.
Oh, that would be crazy.
You could specialize it for damage.
Support. Utility. Scouting.
Oh my gosh, my head is spinning.
The possibilities are endless.
Okay, but let's bring it back down to earth for a minute.
Yeah, back to reality.
You, listening out there,
Yeah.
you're probably already, like, theory crafting.
Running simulations.
Figuring out how all of this will impact
Your hunter.
Your hunter, yeah.
And that's what we want. This deep dive is all about giving you the information you need to make informed decisions.
To understand the impact of these changes.
Yeah.
And to get excited about the future of WoW.
Absolutely.
We've thrown a lot of information at you today.
Oh, yeah, we have.
Analyzed forum posts, dissected patch notes.
Speculated wildly.
But now we want to hear from you.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
What are your hopes, your fears?
How do you think this will impact the balance of the game?
Head over to our forums, join the conversation.
Share your insights. We're all in this together.
Navigating the ever-changing world of Azeroth.
And who knows, maybe your theory will be the one that comes true.
Until then, happy hunting.
Yeah, happy hunting, everyone.
And may your shots always be true.
Always be true.
Our journey was fraught with challenges,